Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Do We Know Them? I'm Lily Marston here with Jesse Smiles, and we're really close to 150. 147.
We are. It's been a while since you pointed out the number. I missed it.
Well, the last topic we just had to get right into, and it's been consuming my mind. We might have a couple updates on that, but we also might hold off till next week because there's gonna be more, I think. Anyway, hi. I want to throw out there now because I feel like a lot of people are expecting 150 to have us do like a surprise. Sorry, guys, not yet.
No, turn your expectations way down.
If anything, we're aiming more for like 200.
You know what we will do for 150? And this is also not even a promise, just like hopefully, we will get our episode up in the morning of that day.
Can we have a brief discussion about that?
About why we upload late?
First of all, someone commented and even someone defended us. Someone tweeted me and said like, this feels like, yeah, that happens every week. And I resent that because aside from like the past 2 weeks where we had something that kind of threw us off schedule, we were uploading consistently, relatively early for like months.
Yeah, it started getting later and later. And then honestly, it's been like almost a month now. Personally, my life blew up and then it interfered with work heavily. And we've been trying to figure out how to get by. That's the truth of it. Like, we're not going to get into detail, but yeah, it's like shit has been happening and we're adjusting to a new normal. And it's really fucking hard because we're kind of like back to like just me and you doing everything by ourselves. And it's hard.
It's like stuff is going on in Jesse's life, but then we're discussing it. So it's not like, don't worry about it. No, I'm kind of consumed by it as well.
Trying to help from where you can. Yeah, exactly.
So first of all, we have never set a time for what time we're uploading.
Never.
So you guys are just kind of assuming that it's supposed to be early. And like, yeah, would we like to get it up early? Sure. But that's why we never set a time, because we know we can't stick to it.
I think we've already discussed this, but from the moment that we are sitting down right now to the moment that you guys are going to be seeing this, if we wanted to get it up in the morning of Friday, okay, which you're likely seeing this very, very, very late on Friday, possibly Saturday morning. If we wanted to get it up on Friday morning, though, we would have one day to do all the editing, all the coloring, all the assets, making sure that everything's smooth, because that doesn't even count. Then we upload it to YouTube. It's copyrighted. We have to take it down. We have to adjust for notes. We have to do a billion things. So the turnaround time is a lot. I know most of you get that. I want to say that. I know the majority of you are like, I don't give a fuck when you post it.
But I just want to throw it out for the people that do seem a little like frustrated or annoyed if we aren't. And piggybacking on what Jesse said, the turnaround time is very, very small. So then imagine if then something happens and we aren't able to stick to our regular routine and schedule, or if like the episode's really long, or like last episode, there were fucking 50 million updates after we filmed. People have suggested also that why don't we move to Tuesdays and Saturdays?
Then it'll be Wednesdays and
I'm like,
Sundays.
That would make no difference. It's not the time of the day. I don't have a life.
No, it's not.
You're not doing a bunch of things during the week.
No.
So it would be like, no, then you're just shifting the time and it would be the same thing. So we're trying to get back on a schedule and we're doing the best we can.
I mean, listen, unless something extremely catastrophic happens, which it has, and that's why we missed, I think, one upload this month. But unless something really bad happens in one of our lives, we are going to get 2 episodes up a week, period. Like, that's going to happen.
And I do try to do updates. Usually if there is not an update, that's not because I'm like sitting around twiddling my thumbs. That is because I'm trying so hard.
You're having a meltdown?
Yeah, either that or just like trying so hard to finish it that like the last thing I'm thinking about is like letting everyone down by telling them it's going to be another fucking 8 hours.
And again, I really just want to reiterate, we are well aware 99.999% of you guys do not give a flying fuck. You're like, upload whenever. We don't care. We have lives. Like, it doesn't matter. So thank you to everyone who's just supporting us regardless. And yeah, we're trying our best here. Anyway, that was longer than we anticipated our intro to be.
I was holding in a lot.
But let's just get into our first topic today, which is going to be a roller coaster. This is a recurring person on our channel at this point. I think she's like a regular.
Capacities too.
I know. Every single time it's the most random shit, but it's always pretty bad.
I guess she doesn't always have like the best involvement in it, but she's always involved, not necessarily from like just her. She's like, for example, the Raven thing. She was on Raven's podcast, or Raven was on her podcast.
Oh my God. Yeah, she's been in a lot of topics recently. The Leo Skeppy thing.
I think it's that people are on her podcast because that was Bretman Rock, Leo, Raven. Before that, it was the Tarte thing, right?
Yes. The Tarte thing was the first time that we had ever covered Fannita, and it's relevant again now in this topic because a lot of people are talking about it in reference to what she's going through right now.
I was going to say, can you refresh my memory? Was she the one that took the spot of someone else?
Yeah, so Bria was the one that called out Tarte for not including
The hierarchy and how they choose, like...
Yeah, and how they're excluding people of color and that, you know, they're getting lesser than, and it was a whole thing, and it was a huge deal. Like, people were really upset at Tarte. People were talking like boycotting Tarte. It was a whole thing. And then all of a sudden, Fannita enters the chat and is like, you know what? I will take that spot.
So Tarte called me up yesterday and was like, hey, you want to fly out to Miami tonight? I said, hell yes, I'm on the plane. And they got us first class. This is my first time ever flying first class. It was amazing. Like, I'm so sorry. Y'all are so mad. Like, yes, Tarte likes me. Like, I'm sorry. Like, champagne was tasting good as hell in first class. It tasted better because it was first class. You know what I'm saying? We had a connecting flight in Chicago, and then we were back and headed towards Miami. And I just want to say this. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's always talking about how I talk and how I act. These brands love me. I have a personality. Get one, and you'll reap the benefits. I'm telling you, y'all. Y'all don't have to act a certain way for people to like you or to be like PC or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I act the way I act, and look at me. I'm in Miami for the Formula One race. And Tarte decked me out. Come on. You're mad. You're mad. Like, I don't know what to tell y'all. I'm sorry. They gave me the hookup. They love me.
And then when people called her out for it, like saying, hey, not only is you going, like, you're basically
enabling them to do what they are doing. Like,
Yeah.
you're enabling them to treat you differently, and you're saying it's okay.
Yeah, and she's taking a spot that at this point they're trying to fill as a form of damage control, not because they value Fannita's presence necessarily. It was very much like a, hey, we need another person of color to come, so can you come? And when people were upset, she said, you hoes are mad, and I'm going to Tarte, and I'm going to go party.
Bria didn't read her email correctly. She got sent a mistake on an itinerary. And instead of...
Whoa. That was contradictory. She didn't read her email correctly, but then it says she was sent a mistake.
Sent a mistake.
Which was it?
Yeah, which one was it? Yeah.
just going to Tarte to clear it up and fix it, she went to the internet. And that's when
No, she said she went to Tarte first.
Yeah, she did, actually. She said she sent them an email clarifying, and they clarified, and then she went to the internet.
When the chaos ensued, because Bria realized that she made a massive mistake, and that's why she deactivated her TikTok account and fled.
No, it's because she got a ton of backlash of people going, you should be grateful, you little bitch.
I really hate when people speak for people who have removed themselves from situations. I've had it happen so many fucking times to me, and it's so annoying. It's like, she said why she was leaving. She said she needed a break. It's pretty cut and dry. She was overwhelmed with the amount of hate, but you're putting a reason on her that she can't defend herself from. I don't like that. I find that, like, fucked up.
And left us to deal with the aftermath.
You didn't know her, you said. How is that leaving you to deal with the aftermath?
I guess she's saying because she took the trip and essentially took like Bria's spot, or like
that's
one
not Bria's fault.
She's like, well, Bria should have like made I don't even know what she's saying actually.
Maybe you should be mad at Tarte for using you guys.
So as me and all the other black girls are getting a lot of hate, we get Bria on the phone. Bria's very nasty and she's very rude and she's not trying to be helpful at all. She's not trying to rectify the situation. She's trying to get out of this.
Sorry, I just am confused at what rectifying the situation means. What does she want?
I'm also just curious on how Fannita wanted Bria to act in a situation where this is all like very fucked up, and like, was she supposed to be your savior on top of it? I don't get it.
I'm confused. What does Fannita want her to go out and be like,
don't hate on Fannita?
Like, if anything, you should be mad at Tarte.
So people were not happy about that. And it comes up now in this conversation for different reasons. We'll get to that in a second. But what is happening right now, people are thinking that she may be experiencing a manic episode, something that's really concerning. Quite frankly, it's pretty triggering. Like, it's a lot to watch.
We're not trying to speculate what's going on. It's just like she's really high energy and intense in them. Also with just generally with mental health, but also like manic episodes in particular. I feel like a lot of people do jump to that as being the reason someone is acting a certain way. And I don't think that's always accurate. I have no idea whether that's what's happening now, but regardless, it seems like she is, I mean, she's always been a little controversial, but I feel like there's been a shift lately where she is really leaning into the controversy.
Yeah. So what I do want to say, first of all, is like, if you haven't ever heard of Fannita, like, you must be new here. We do talk about her, like we said, quite a bit. But Fannita is primarily a comedy account. She talks about story times or general like commentary. If she sees something funny, she'll make it into this whole TikTok where she's recounting something, but like
I feel like it's like a mix between like story times, but they're not her story times all the time.
it's
And then,
more like a commentary on life, but in a funny
I was gonna
way.
say
Like it's
mixed
lighthearted
with like a
usually.
lifestyle.
Yeah.
But not the same lifestyle that's like, get ready with me.
No,
It's
not
like-
at all. No, she doesn't do anything like that. It's literally
Just
her
herself.
commentary and jokes on life and random scenarios, and then her dancing in a mirror. Or like, you know, like just feeling herself in a mirror. Those are like her two types of content.
I think I would, even if I just saw her content, I would just consider it like personality content.
Yeah, for the most part, a lot of people like her. Up until, you know, not that long ago, I was following her because I found her funny. Not like I'm doubled over laughing funny, you know, but she's a funny girl. Like, she, you know, the little like, what
She's
is it? The
entertaining.
blows out of your nose when you're like that type of funny. Not even really. It was just like, I found her amusing. I thought she was pretty charismatic. But what I will say that always annoyed me about Fannita is that she is the embodiment of what everyone hates about Leos. Like the worst version of a Leo is Fannita. Absolutely, like unequivocally just obsessed with herself. Absolutely thinks that the ground that she walks on is like blessed ground. Like she's like, you're welcome for walking there, bitch.
And I think that that's a good thing to bring up because if you already have that type of person that would be like that without a social media following, then when you give them a social media following, that's
Yep.
like validation that everything they thought was true. And then it just creates kind of a monster.
Yes, but what I want to say about Leos is that I have never met a Leo that doesn't love themselves. Yes, I get it. You have this like grandiose, like, oh, you know what? I'm kind of slaying. Like, am I eating? I fear I am. But what really is happening in almost every Leo I've ever seen, I actually have never not seen it, is a deep insecurity. I think that there's a lot more insecurity in a Leo than they would like to admit. And, you know, it is what it is. But Fannita is the like caricature of a Leo. Like, seriously, she's always been that way, just talking about how amazing she is. And honestly, I thought it was kind of like shtick. Like, I thought she was playing it up, not because of anything other than like, I thought everything she did was kind of a joke. Like, she always presented it
she
as
was
like
putting on
not
kind
being
of a
that
character
serious.
for herself.
Yeah. And also, it's kind of strange to me that anybody would be that openly confident. Like that to me, I'm like, really? Do we like conduct ourselves like that in real life? It feels like that would be just an internet thing. Anyway, that's so not important. So she got a lot of people to love her content and follow her over the years, myself included. And little by little, she started chipping away at that following by fucking up or saying things that were like, why did Fannita say that? Well, this is so much more than all of that. She has completely, I don't even know what to call this, but she's definitely gone all in, is what I would say. Like she has not held back at all.
But also, hasn't she like really increased her following in the last several months?
The thing is that she's increased her following in size, but her like core following, people that have been around forever, which I would argue are far more valuable than like people that just like hop on because they saw a clip of your podcast. You know what I mean? Like people who have genuinely been supporting her for years have progressively gotten more and more tired of her shit.
I believe that. I think it's more, though, I was pointing out that she probably doesn't really consider that like a difference. So she
Right.
thinks that she's gotten more famous.
Maybe. Regardless, what happened next is that a few weeks ago, Fannita started to talk about the pay discrepancies or the pay gap between Black women creators is specifically who she was talking about, and white woman creators. I actually have some commentary here from a Black woman creator that I found pretty insightful because it explains why she believes that that message is the correct message, but that Fannita's the wrong messenger because of her history. And you know what? Let me just let her explain it because she'll do that a million times better than I can.
Let's be messy and do my skincare because I actually wanted to speak about this. So in regard to the whole Fannita situation, I know, Black women speaking about Black women is counterproductive, but we need to say this. I'm really sorry, this needs to be said. Right message, wrong messenger. Once again, right message, wrong messenger. But the only positive from this entire situation is that at least she has a large audience, and that message, which is the right message, will go towards a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? But her history has me like, in regards to how she treated other Black women in the past and joined a brand trip that was extremely discriminatory to other Black people, and then proceeded to put out a message saying, oh, let's support all Black creators, has me like, my head hurts. Because her past behavior makes it extremely hard to empathize with her situation, because it seems like, I don't know, she cares more about herself rather than the Black creators that don't have equal pay. Gag it.
Which, do you get what that's in reference to?
Oh, she does that.
Oh my God, Fannita, in all of her things, mind you, a lot of these are deleted, so we'll put them in, like the ones that I don't have pulled that we're reacting to, we'll put them in where they fit, because Lily will find probably everything Fannita's ever posted in her life. But one of her main things, and a lot of the ones that we're even gonna watch, is that when she says something, I'm sorry, it's not funny because it's not funny, but she goes to like her boob and like shows almost the outline of her nipple almost, I guess. And then she'll just go like this, like if she's pinching her nipple, and then she'll go gag it like that.
Gag it.
Gag it. Gag it.
Woo, don't make me. Gag it.
Gag it.
Gag it.
Gag it. Don't make me flash the titty like a Glock.
What? Gag it.
The only reason I even know that is because I've watched probably a total, like saying I watched 15 would be like maybe. And it's all been usually related to things we're talking about on the show. I haven't just seen her content organically. But I did watch the Carrington date that we'll go over a little bit later, but she has him do that. And now that's giving...
Oh, okay. Because she thinks that's like her signature thing.
What is this?
This is my thing. Gag it.
Gag it. Oh,
Period.
This one?
No, middle. It's like a mini clap.
I did that.
You got some long ass fingers.
And some people do love it and some people think it's funny. I personally don't think any of the fucking jokes, because she has attempted to make jokes in the last 2 weeks, not a snort, not a little gust of air out my nose, nothing. There was like literally nothing I found funny about the last few weeks. So that's what she's referencing. When she says gag it, it's Fannita.
Black creators need equal pay and need to be paid the same if they have the same followers and engagement, and is a serious issue. But coming from Fannita, it's just like... And to be completely honest, it seems like after her glow up, because she was extremely beautiful before and she's extremely beautiful now, she probably felt that she would get more opportunities after her quote unquote glow up and didn't. And then she's probably now thinking, what is the reason? Because I'm skinny now, you know what I'm saying? And now that she's still getting these opportunities but not the equal pay, she's like, what's going on? And I think that's really the issue. Gag it. But I just gotta say, rooting for all Black creators in every aspect, regardless if you get the opportunity or not. From the past behaviors that we have seen, this message falls short. And that is my take on it.
So I found that very insightful in terms of like her being the wrong messenger. Although the message itself, because I found a lot of people saying that, they're like, you're not necessarily wrong, but you are wrong because the reason it's not happening for you is X, Y, Z. And they go into like a billion reasons why they feel like Fannita is not making as much money as, let's say, Alex Earl. And why do I bring up that name? Well, because
Fannita did.
On a few occasions, Fannita compares herself to Alex Earl in a very interesting way. And I'm just going to play one of them, but don't worry, there were a few.
Question though, first, is there a specific brand situation that sparked this?
No, she doesn't talk about a specific brand situation. What she talks about is that her manager, Asia, she has to work twice as hard to get Fannita brand deals, whereas people like Alex Earl are making all this money.
My manager has white and Black clients on her roster. Who do you think gets paid less, has more followers, better engagement, and can actually sell products than her white clients? Yes, that's me, top dog. I'm on Asia's roster and I get paid less than her white clients that I have more followers and better engagement than.
So she's like, why is Alex Earl making 6 figures when I get the same engagement as her? Which, by the way, she does not.
I was going to say, really?
No, she doesn't. Which is like, that's part of the troubling situation right now, because when someone starts to have that kind of like self-inflated, like grandiose vibe, that is where people are getting manic from. They're like, oh, you think you're this amazing, like you're better than everyone else. Why aren't you being paid? But let's look at the facts.
That is one of the recurring, like that is a huge symptom of that. And that's why I said, I'm like, she's always been confident, but it's really increased lately.
And she's felt so confident now that she's naming names where it's like, let's maybe just take a step back. But anyway, like I said, she's made many of these, but this was one of them.
Since I woke up to tea about the pay gaps and the pay disparities among Black creators and white creators, let me add on to it because I didn't really even say what I wanted to say.
The eyes.
Yeah, well,
I know.
So the eyes, that's, I think, another reason people are speculating that something is going on, because it's not just what she's saying, it's how she's delivering it. It's like, what is happening?
It's very intense. And notably, if you do watch this on your phone, even if you pull up the comments, her eyes look at you from above the comments. It's very interesting. But regardless, it's very intense. The energy is like on 1,000 right now, which even when we've seen Fannita heated in the past, addressing something,
It hasn't been like
not
this.
even close.
You saying y'all made me coming back because some of y'all is pocket watching me too hard. Look at the robe. Pockets is flush. Asia does what she needs to fucking do. I gets to the bag. I gets to the manyan. We're already 6 figures in and it's only May. Well over. Not too much. Get out my pockets.
Actually, I shall hop in. What's the math on something like that? Like 6 figures, it's only May, January, February, March, April, May.
Okay, well, I mean, what's 6 figures? Is that 100,000 or
Let's
is that
say it's
like
100,000.
That's not.
That's like 20 grand a month, no?
Yeah, I mean, that's good, but it's definitely not.
It's not like buy a bunch of Prada bags and like robes.
It's not Alex
Yeah.
Earl. And also, like, she's then paying a manager. And even without the, like, extravagant purchases, like, if something happens, you can't work or you aren't getting brand deals and stuff anymore, I'll be the first to say it goes away pretty quickly. It's not forever. It's not always sustainable.
Absolutely not. I know so many influencers who, even if they were able to like build up over time, have had very humbling moments in their life where it's like, damn, I made all this money and basically I have nothing to show for it. Because when you especially come from making no money, which is what Fannita came from, she did not grow up rich in any way. Because of that, when you do get the money, you want to spend it so bad you could buy anything you want, or not anything, but you could buy pretty much most of the things you want. And they spend it quickly. And then, especially if something like this happens and it all of a sudden ends, you're fucked. And you may end up on Instagram story begging for money, as she did now, but we don't want to skip ahead.
Now, I'm gonna have to call out a few creators so y'all can really understand what the fuck I'm talking about. Cause ain't no other big creators gonna put a name on it. But I'm sorry, girl. I gotta whack you. I'm not trying to read you. But Alex Earl, come to the podium. Alex Earl has the luxury of being able to have white fucking privilege. Imagine a black girl comes online and says she has a dress with throw up in it. She's nasty as fuck. Look at how y'all talk about E. Kane. E. Kane and Alex Earl are twins.
Who is that? I've heard her mention
Girl,
that.
I don't have enough time in the fucking universe to explain to you the lore of Ekane. Oh my God. When I tell you that I'm in the trenches with Ekane, like I have followed Ekane for so many years. I've followed Ekane since literally she used to not want to be famous. So she would delete her TikTok and make a random one every like 2 weeks before she became like a wig influencer. Anyway, long story. Ekane is basically someone who has an extremely flat out relationship with the father of her children, Chris. Chris is the fucking worst. He has abused her for many years. The reason why she's comparing Ekane and Alex Earl is because Ekane is quote unquote messy too. Like she puts out her shit that might be embarrassing.
I was like hygienically messy.
Yes, also, she always talks about how she doesn't brush her teeth and like, but the thing is with Ekane is that she can do that because she is truly fucking really funny. As fucked up and as honestly triggering as it is to follow everything with her, she is really, really, really funny. But what I will say, her and Alex Earl are not like this, like at all. Like Ekane is basically documenting an abusive life and she has 2 children and we had to watch that she almost never has her children. She like literally will go live where the father of her children is screaming at her. She went live literally saying that like she thought he was gonna kill her, like really fucked up shit. So they're not the same. Alex Earl is a frat girl or sorority girl or like someone who's just like drinks too much. And by the way, we on this channel have called her like ill, disgusting. What the fuck are you doing?
I was just gonna say, weird example to bring up. I feel like the general consensus to that revelation was like, that's gross and you have a problem.
Absolutely. There was literally, we had a whole episode on Alex Earl talking about how absolutely atrocious and disgusting pretty much all the shit she was talking about was.
I meant to throw out, it smells, it has my puke on it for my birthday last year. And I meant to get it dry cleaned, but I didn't, so it's just been sitting in my closet.
Up against your other clothes?
And it really smells. Smell it.
Ew, ew.
The way that I would literally like, because I'm so terrified of throw up, that if someone did that to me, I would punch them square in the face.
The fact that she did it isn't the problem for me. It's that she kept it. And she's like, oh, I was gonna dry clean it. Throw it away.
And not only did she keep it, but people were pointing out, like this one person commented, ma'am, you moved apartments with this. So she actually moved locations. And she said, I did. You're talking about, if I even get the glimpse of the smell of vomit, it is enough to send me into a spiral. This woman had it up against her other clothes, moved houses with it. So when you move houses, you have to gather all your clothes. You're gonna catch a whiff of that. You're gonna see it. Like, I feel like if you move, you see everything that you own and you kind of like go through it and see what you actually need, what you don't need.
I mean, the way she was reacting to it, it seemed like a pungent smell. Why would you hang it up? And
We did not think like, Slay Queen, like, you better work, like, in any way, shape, or form.
Alex Earl got big, not from saying stuff like that necessarily. It was, she got big for like sharing party stories where it's like she was doing questionable things and like some of it was relatable. And then it progressively got like, babe, that's not relatable anymore, babe. Like,
yeah, cut it. Which she kind of did. Like, she doesn't share too many things like that anymore. But anyway, I just want to say, if you don't know who Kane is, that is not a comparable bunch at all. Like, it's just like two people who are like messy online in the most different ways possible. Like, people were saying you'd be more comparable to maybe like Drew Afualo, who is a woman of color, but she's not black, but she does comedy like you, right? You both do your commentary on whatever the fuck you see fit. You make jokes, whatever. Alex Earl is more comparable to like a Monet. You know Monet Michael? No. Jesus, you don't know anybody, Lily. Do we know them? I guess fucking not. Well, Monet is basically the it girl. Like, she is super cute. She's always does the get readies with me. She has the cutest like boyfriend and they have dogs and it's like this whole thing, but she is a woman of color. She's half black. So that's more comparable. If you want to compare someone to Alex Earl that's a person of color that should be getting paid very close to what Alex Earl's getting paid, then talk about Monet. Don't talk about yourself. You're a fucking comedy channel that doesn't get the engagement she gets. Because it's not a fair comparison, it just feels so insane to bring this up. Does Alex Earl have white privilege? Yeah,
absolutely.
So do we. But like, what the fuck are we talking about here? Like, you're mad you're not getting 6 figures a month like Alex Earl? You're not Alex Earl. Let's talk about who you're closest to and then compare those paychecks and then really get down to what the fuck we're looking at. But you can't say that you should just be getting what any other person, yes, if they're white, okay, I get it. But yeah, I'm sure now you're talking like something completely different.
I also wonder, like, when you compare their brands, yeah, Alex Earl does gross things and stuff. She can sell products. Like, people want what she's wearing. People want what makeup she's doing. I don't think she has, like, controversial things in, like, she's saying controversial topics and stuff. She's just kind of doing things that are like, that's a little weird.
Brands pay such close attention. Like, you would be surprised how in depth they will go to see the controversies you have been a part of. And Fannita's been a part of a lot of them.
And that's the thing. It's like Alex Earl's hygiene isn't necessarily great, but that doesn't affect how she can
like clean up and sell the brand.
Exactly. And Fannita that's what it comes down to, is that like even the stuff I've seen where she is like overly sexual, which we'll get into some of that in a little bit, but that like she's always been like that kind of stuff is not brand friendly because some of her stuff, it's offensive.
The sexual stuff and Fannita being overly sexual to people who are not reciprocating it has always made me so uncomfortable. It's not funny to pretend you're kissing someone that doesn't want to kiss you. It's not funny to grind up on someone who's like stiff as a fucking board because they don't want to grind up on you. Like, that is not funny. That's not comedy. It's not comedy to sexually harass your dentist. It's not comedy to talk to professionals in a sexual way. Like, she goes way overboard. You think any brand wants to touch that? Like, I totally understand what she's saying has merit. I understand why she feels that when she was plus size and being a black woman, why people didn't want to hear shit from her and they wanted her to just put a smile on her face and be funny, and that's it. I get it. But we're taking a shift that is very weird, and it comes down to, and we'll get to that. I know we have a lot of commentary. We'll start moving along. But what it comes down to is you wanted to wait until you had what you believe to be the body that you could now be absolutely unhinged and mean as fucking. Like, that's what you wanted. You were like waiting for that opportunity, because she literally says, I waited until I got my tits done. I waited until I was skinny, and now fuck you bitches. Like, she literally says that.
And when I was on the internet, when I was fat, y'all bullied me relentless. I was a big body, nasty, wide back, ugly, fat bitch. Huh? So don't act like all this anger is coming out of nowhere, but I'm a smart bitch, right? I knew that I could never say the shit that I wanted to say to y'all. That's why I never ever addressed it. And maybe that's why y'all thought I was a pussy. Because when I was in real life, I would crack skulls. I would fight bitches that talked about me, right? But I want to be rich, famous. I want to get to the money. So I'm like, I can't be an angry fat. That's the worst ones. So I got to be a funny fat. Let me make a joke here and there. Brand deal here and there. Another brand deal. Okay, let me move to LA, right? And here's another thing. Y'all think everybody on the internet is fake. I'm not one of them. I'm real, raw, and authentic. Huh? So now I can say whatever the fuck I want to say. Call me Gordon Ramsay. I'm exactly who I think I am. I've earned the right to talk to like this. And I need y'all to know, going into Fannita's next era, either you in the comments, yay, Fannita, we love you, or I'm going to pick a profile picture and get to fucking reading you bitches. Big tits and a slim waist now, so I can speak on whatever the fuck I want to, and I can say it however the fuck I want to. This is how I am. This is my personality. I don't have to hide it anymore because I'm skinny now, and that's the unfortunate facts of when you're fat. You gotta like suppress yourself. But yep, so get used to this, because this is how I'm becoming all 2024 with you bitches.
Well, that's not okay. Like, and it's not funny, and we're all just like, oh, okay, so now you hate everybody. Got it. That is why people think Fannita's going through something, which she is. But there's no excuse for this. This is like insane.
But what is Alex and what is E. Kane? What is Alex and what is me? Me and Alex engagement pretty much the same damn shit. And I'm more entertaining, and I have a podcast, and I'm funny. Alex is funny to white people, or is she even funny? And this is not a drag, Alex. I'm not trying to drag you. I'm just keeping it fucking real.
What is
because
it?
if you could get $50K for a brand deal, bitch, we both know I deserve it. $60K, $70K, $80K. You know what I'm saying? I'm having to settle right now for my little funky ass 20. But I want what you white hoes get, and I want it today, ASAP, not tomorrow. Prada, I spent $6,000 in your store. I better be receiving some gifting like y'all do every other white hoe that don't purchase shit from y'all. I need a small bottle of perfume or something for France, if you don't mind. You know what I'm saying? It's hard having to be the one to talk the shit all the time and say the quiet parts out loud while somebody's got to do it. And now that I have my new titties, I will be more than willing.
Like,
Alex,
what
girl, I'm not
is
trying
the
to grab you. That's
correlation
not
there?
even a read. It's not your fault that you're white. Opportunities come better to white people, and that's just how the country was built. You know what I'm saying? It's systemic. I'm not hating that you get to the money, young girl. I'm just saying I need it fair across the board, or I'm gonna start being mediocre like you white hoes. Because if I take away popular sounds, half you hoes ain't got a fucking account. Don't let me wake it up.
What? Is she saying that like people only use her sounds to?
Yeah. She is the pillar that's keeping TikTok
I don't even
afloat.
think I've ever like. Are there popular ones that I
I
wouldn't
can't even
realize
think
are
of
her?
one at the top
Yeah.
of my head now. But I will say, when I was on Vine, I always got paid so much fucking less than everybody, and I did realize it as it was happening. But over the years, when I've like talked to my friends from Vine, I'm like, how much were you getting paid at that time? And I like want to vomit. I'm like, oh,
Me, my entire career.
literally like 6 times what they were being paid. Now, what I want to say is, again, I think that there's truth there. I think that there is definitely discrepancies with how brands pay a lot of people. Like, they make up the rules as they go, pretty much, is what I feel. But what I also want to say is that brands are going to try to fuck everyone over. They will try to pay as little as they possibly can. And if they feel like they can get away with it, let's say, I don't know your manager, Asia, but let's say that she is maybe like managing just a few creators and she doesn't necessarily have rapport with these brands. Those brands are not gonna work with her in the same way that they would work with, let's say, if Alex Earl is signed to CTA.
That's 100% a major thing. Like, I agree. Yes, I don't doubt that there is pay discrepancies between black and white creators, but brands will offer the least amount they could possibly give you. And if you're going to accept that, that is what they're going to pay you. And you can argue with them, and sometimes you will get more. I have examples though, like even when I went on a brand trip one time, which super thankful, awesome to go on. And it was when my back was not doing great. And it was to the point that it was so not great that I had to go to like New York, and I could not physically sit on a plane for that long. So one of the caveats was like, I would love to go, but I physically cannot handle sitting for that long. And I offered this because I wanted to go and I had friends going. So I didn't like, it wasn't gonna be like, oh, I'm all alone. I offered to not bring a +1 so I could have a first class seat to go, so I could handle being on the plane because you can lay down. Imagine my surprise when I get on the plane and everyone in the +1 is in fucking first class.
Oh.
And I was like, oh,
Wait, so what does that mean? That they were going to put you in coach originally?
I do think that they were selective and they put some people in coach and some people not, but it's like basically I could have just demanded, I mean, I don't know, maybe they would have said you can't come, but like you get what you ask for sometimes when you do have a manager that like means business. And I don't think mine didn't, because I think I offered up front because I just felt guilty because I didn't want to like ask for extra. But like the ones I saw did have a lot more followers than me, so that plays a role.
Exactly. Like that's fucked up, but that is what brands will fucking do. They'll be like, let's put Miss Marston in the freaking shitter end of the fucking plane because she has X amount of followers. And at the time you were doing Beauty Break and all that stuff, which was super successful. But if we're talking someone that has millions of followers on Instagram and all that stuff, they're going to put them in the fucking front. And it sucks and it's stupid and it's annoying. But it is another aspect that maybe we can add into here, while also recognizing that absolutely, I am sure that they target Black creators and purposefully will lowball them and purposefully not include them or include them as a means to look like, oh, look, see, we're inclusive. Like that's, I totally understand all of that. But there's so many different aspects to this as being creators for all these years. Like we have also experienced like, oh, got it. You love them and we suck. Oh
yeah. No, I have numerous examples of that. I was not the same kind of, because I didn't have as big of a social following, even if we got the same numbers on Beauty Break. But also it's just interesting for Fannita to be having this perspective when brands will offer what they think they can get. And if you show that you're willing to accept the bare minimum that they have offered, that's what you're going to get offered. And she very much made a statement with the Tarte thing where she was like, fuck it, I'll go. Even though she was very clearly an afterthought that was not meant to include someone. It was to damage control. If anything, you would think it would be a sobering moment for her to realize, like, I shouldn't have done that because that made it okay.
Yeah. But no, that's not what this is. So there's a ton of rants. We are not going to watch all of them, like I said. She does, however, explain why she's talking like this, because people understandably were like, hey, I followed you for years. Who's this? Like, what the fuck am I watching right now? And this was her explanation.
Hey, hoes. I got something else I want to talk about. Period. So everybody that's new here is like, why is she talking like this? Why is she talking like this? First of all, I had a master scheme, right? So when I was fat, you know what I mean, and like loud and shit, I couldn't say certain things. I made a whole video about it. It was 7 minutes long. If you didn't watch it, you didn't watch it, right? And so now the videos of how I used to talk and how I present myself, that was me code switching. No, Fannita was code switching. Yes, I was. I was code switching for a check. I'll bounce his ass for a check and flash these titties. Gag it. So now that y'all are hearing me talk like this, I'm not mad. This is how I talk. This is the real me, and she's free. I told y'all, I literally was planning on getting these new titties and going in on you bitches. Because y'all have gotten away with talking about me for far too long. You know what I'm saying? I'm not copying nobody's personality. Fannita ain't got to copy a fucky funk ass thing from nobody. So stop saying that. You're insulting me. And I don't like that. And I don't want to get to reading. But now I can finally be as mean as I've always been.
What? Right, like, what the fuck is that?
It feels so fucking good. I'm not gonna lie. Skinny privilege, that's one of the things that happens when you lose weight, man. Skinny privilege is real. Because when literally, that's why I had to bite my tongue on a lot of shit. Because I would be scared. Ooh, y'all would have me shaking in my boots, shivering me timbers.
Oh my God.
Lily, you would consider yourself skinny, right?
Yes. Now, apparently I was fat before, not a huge transformation, but yes.
Would you say that you can just get on here and be a fucking raging bitch and nobody's gonna say anything about it? Or would you say that everyone calls us raging bitches every week on this show anyway?
Literally, I feel no difference between when I was fat, according to, I don't think any of the people watching now are the ones that were calling me fat, but it was like, Lily's the chubby one. I didn't feel like I could be mean then, and I feel like I can be less mean now.
Isn't that such an insane thought to have? To be like, well, now I can be the fucking raging bitch I've always wanted to be.
I thought she was going to say, now I can be me.
No.
MEAN. Mean.
Well, she actually describes it as dismantling parasocial relationships. We covered something recently where it was similar. Somebody was being rude or mean or something and calling it like, oh, I'm just like dismantling the girl who faked being pregnant. I was going to
say the girl that pretended she was pregnant.
Yes. Like she's just like, just kidding. Just like trying to fuck with parasocial relations. No, you're being weird.
While asking for people to go to her Patreon, which was another step. But
that's what Fannita says she's doing.
I want y'all to know something. This year, I am dismantling parasocial relationships. Just because I got a super duper trooper amount of followers don't mean nothing. I'm not Lil Wayne. I'm not right above it. I'm not above it.
What? Okay.
I know, the eyes.
Like is that like a
pause
medical?
screen.
Like that's unnatural.
No, you're thinking like Wendy Williams Graves disease. No,
I wasn't thinking that. I mean, that did come to mind, but I wasn't assuming she had Graves' disease. I'm like, is that a symptom of like something?
I think she's just able to open them pretty wide.
Take it to fucking hell, little bitches. You better watch your fucking mouth when you talk to me. And then don't DM me. Don't say shit to me and DM me talking about, I'm sorry, Fannita. Can you please let up off me? Fuck no, now I'm not letting you loose when you could have just minded your business to begin with. I'm no longer the bigger person, literally.
Jesus.
Gag it. You little hoes better play with your pussy.
Jesus.
And leave me the fuck alone. Because I'm telling you, I'm mean. Y'all, when I tell y'all I like to talk about folks. I'm a gossip.
That's not necessarily the same as what you're doing.
Everything mean to think about a person, I say it out loud. Ask my friends on FaceTime. That's why I can't text. It's FaceTimes only. Because everybody get read. Oops, I talk about people, grandmas, moms, sisters, dogs. It don't matter
Not
what the
the
fuck
dogs.
Leave them out of it.
And I
no
dare
wonder
when
she's
you
friends
are.
with Leo's Kepi.
What the fuck? Like, we all love to gossip. I don't think that's
I was going
what
to say,
she's
that's
talking
very
about. What are you
different from
saying?
what you're describing, ma'am.
But anyway, we will move on. So she goes on to do really weird rants. Literally, she goes on this like whole thing about do not disturb and how she doesn't like when people have their phone on do not disturb. Like, she needs to be able to reach you and like you can't like cut that kind of line of communication. And it's like,
What?
no, that's what do not disturb is for.
Somebody get me on the horn with Steve Jobs. Dig him up. We gotta talk. D&D, get rid of that. If my number's in your phone, you answering my text messages. Notify anyway. And what the fuck are you gonna do about it? You're gonna respond. That's what you're gonna do about it. I don't like that. I don't like when people have their phone on D&D because now I feel like you trying to ignore me on purpose and I will not be ignored, little bitch. I will come over there and buy your life with my Apple Wallet. Gag it. Answer me when I message you and take that phone off D&D or I'm cracking your skull in. And then I'm cracking your phone.
Well, but and that goes back to her thinking that she is just everyone's gift to the world. Like, she thinks everyone should drop everything for her at all times because she's so important.
Yeah. Then we start getting into the broke bitch era, which is her calling every single person broke, poor, pathetic, living in their, I believe the wording was Section 8 houses and their shitty cars that all need new transmissions.
I like the people that support and like me. But the rest of you ugly, dirty hoes in your fucking Section 8 housing apartments, sitting in your dirty, broken cars that need transmission replacements, talking about me, I hate you.
She's like, all of you bitches are fucking poor and I'm rich. And that's, I think, also where people are getting manic from, because thinking that everybody is literally beneath you, they're all gum under your shoe, is either you have an insane ego and you've just been hiding it really well. Not really well, because we all knew she had an ego.
Say, well, I don't.
But not like this. This is not a playful ego. This is like, oh, you're nasty. Like, why are you saying this?
But also just like factually untrue.
Right. Like, how do you know every person you're watching? And even if it was, it's like, oh, you're cruel.
First
like,
of all,
what the
don't
fuck?
say that to begin with. Very interesting PR move. But like also, huh?
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. So this is her getting her hair done, and I guess the woman came over to do her hair and brought her kids, I'm pretty sure, to do it.
You bitches ain't never had a house call before, funky bitches. I'm in my living room. You're in the projects. And she made you bring her kids a 10-piece lemon pepper. And she split them 10 wings 5 ways. Dead fucking wrong. I don't ever have to leave to get my shit done. Period. Gag it.
What? So notably, because I have followed Fannita, that is not true. I've seen vlogs of her going to get her hair done at the salon.
Well, no, but I've heard her in videos talk about that she didn't grow up wealthy. So why would she be shitting on people that aren't now?
I don't know how that direction took place. Maybe she got frustrated with people's commentary on the pay discrepancies and like people telling her basically she's not the one to say this. I don't know. And then she just started like with the, okay, well then all of you are fucking broke and you're annoying.
But also, that's an interesting move because, like, she would be implying by the pay discrepancies that she's not making that much money.
I just really don't know in her head how this seemed like a good turn because all she did was royally piss everyone the fuck off. Like, everybody.
Also, like, not to say maybe she didn't pay a lot for that lady to come to her house, but I feel like that is not like, that's not like a...
Like, what are we talking? Like a $60 upcharge for gas?
I was just going to say,
like,
that's not like a super luxury thing, depending on who you're getting your hair done from. That just feels like a kind of random thing to act like that's the biggest flex. Like,
yeah. Then people started responding to her, giving their commentary. And this was her response to people in general, but specifically this one woman, but also just people in general that have shit to say about her. I'm sure we're included in that for sure.
Oh, she would hate us.
I need Fannita and all of these prince and princess influencers to please shut the hell up. First of all, Fannita, clear your throat. You got a frog in it, bitch. Second of all, I need y'all to stop speaking on me. And also, y'all, that was by far one of the stupidest videos I have ever seen in my life. Oh my God, I'd rather learn Braille than watch that video again. And then having all you other stupid, ignorant people in there talking about clock it. I need y'all to learn how to read an actual clock, and it's not an analog. Do you know what an analog clock is? Quickly. You stupid ass fucking people. Right? It was a Fannita hate club in that comment section. I know y'all are mad as fuck. I know y'all are mad as fuck. And why is it the only thing y'all can say about me is that I went on the Tarte trip? Get over it. That was a year ago.
Whoa. What did she just follow it up with? That she got skinny since?
I think so, yeah.
I done got skinny since that happened. Like...
Oh my God.
Y'all gonna have to find something else to talk about. Nobody gives a fuck about me once Miami anymore.
But they do, because it relates to what you're saying now and bitching about. A year's not that long ago, girl.
And honestly, the time is irrelevant when it comes to how long ago something happened if you still don't know why the fuck people had an issue with it. Like,
that's my point. I'm like, it's not like she had this but you're standing by what you did, but now you're complaining because it's affecting you in a way that you don't think is fair. But like,
she always was annoyed about the Tarte trip commentary. Let's be real. She always hated it. She always thought it was bullshit. But now to literally be like, I got skinny since then, you fucking weirdos. Broke bitches, bye.
I'm sorry, what does that change? But also, that's one of the things I remember about the Tarte thing. It's not just that she went. It's how she reacted at people being upset about it afterwards and like just didn't seem to care at all. This isn't like a dead controversy that like is totally irrelevant. It's very relevant to everything she's saying.
And she would rather learn Braille?
That was an interesting move. And also, like, are we really gauging people's intelligence over like an analog clock? Really? What if that's your basis for intelligence? The bar's low.
So basically in that idiot's video, she was saying that I shouldn't be bringing awareness to not getting paid more. And that I should be checking my white counterparts that are also at the same table, which I did. I made a whole video calling out specific creators.
You're really missing the points here. How are you missing the Tarte tie-in? Like, that's why people are bringing it up.
And another thing, I need black people to understand, just because I'm an influencer and I have clout and I'm famous and I'm around certain groups of people and I'm around certain areas, that I don't still experience racism and discrimination in this industry.
Course.
No one said you didn't.
Why are other black people acting like racial disparities and racial discrimination in the pay wages and pay gaps among black and white counterparts aren't happening in every area of the world?
Who said
You're getting
that?
fucked at your corporate job. You're getting fucked at that fast food restaurant. You're getting fucked in law school. You're getting fucked in dental school. You're getting fucked at when you're a doctor. Black people
Where
at
else are
work get fucked. And Uncle Sam loves our ass. Loves it. Makes it jiggle when he claps from behind. So when a person like me that has a platform, and apparently I hate black people so much, I should let you bitches keep working for nickels and dimes.
Jesus.
And then maybe y'all have something to scrub together with and wash that ass instead of sitting on your dirty ass floor talking about me.
What is happening?
But instead of believing the things that you guys say about me, I still use my platform to advocate for equal pay among all.
Okay.
Who is just denied that there's a pay gap.
Here's the thing is that she is so dedicated to hearing herself speak that she is not understanding that people are not saying that the message isn't true. Just because it's now affecting you, that's when you care. That's when you say this is not fair. You didn't care when you took that spot on the Tarte trip. You didn't care when you're hanging around all these white creators that are flaunting their designer shit. You didn't care. You wanted a spot at that table until you looked around and you realized my wallets aren't as full as yours. You know what I mean? And I get it. That's frustrating, but you need to speak on it and actually speak on it, not just be like, I want more money. Alex Earl, fuck you, you talentless bitch. Like, oh my God.
And then also in like the same video, usually talking about how she's rich and everyone else is poor.
Okay, that's the dynamic that rocks my world. But I think that's why people are going to mental illness. And also she's going through a lot. We're going to get into what she's going through.
Just so many conflicting things.
It's completely on opposite spectrums. She is going through a rough time. She did not come from money. And this shtick of like, fuck you, idiot, broke people, it feels like self-sabotaging. Like it feels like she wants to just...
Feels like this is self-sabotaging. Like what is happening?
She wants everyone to leave, but I don't think that's what she actually wants. I think she's hurt. I think she's speaking from a place of hurt, and I think it's sad to witness. But that's why it makes no sense, because she's just spewing whatever the fuck comes to her mind. There's zero filter right now for whatever reason.
You think like, oh, she's going through a rough time. This isn't really her. And like, yes, if there is any kind of mental illness going on, I understand that that absolutely can affect her personality and the things you say. But it's really hard to defend her too much when she's literally saying like, no, I've always been mean. I'm a mean bitch and I want to be mean and I like enjoy
I've
it.
always wanted to do this. Yeah. But also you have to know, I'm not saying for sure that she's manic. I know that she has actually like answered comments and kind of insinuated that she may be manic, you know, like she hasn't like rejected that completely. But what I will say is that when someone is manic, a lot of times they can say things that are in very specific detail like that. Like, oh, I always wanted this. I always wanted to tell you this. And it doesn't necessarily mean that that's true. Like they may just be pulling from whatever they feel in the moment. And it's this very, very powerful energy level that's kind of uncontrollable. Like I would hope that's not true, that she hasn't always just wanted to be mean, you know?
Same, but it just is hard to not believe when she's being so confident about it.
I know.
No, I don't care if you bitches like stay on or not. But I try to be a good person. So Dane, Dwayne, Lane, Fane, Kane, keep my name out of your lane, please. Gag it. Peace. Stupid bitch. You're an idiot. You're an idiot, bitch. Oh my God. An idiot, bitch. And everybody that was in her comments talking about clock it. There's a reason why they had us split up in different classes in school. I was in advanced classes, 4 years of college, communications and sociology. That's why I've been clocking y'all too. I literally studied this. I graduated high school with a 4.0 GPA. That's why I speak with a certain vernacular. And when I be turning up, that's me turning up. That's me having fun. I'm not on coke. I'm not on drugs. I just have a personality and I know when to cut it on. I know when to cut it off, when I can educate you bitches. And listen, you're mad as fuck. Y'all are mad that I beat the odds because fat, dark-skinned black women are at the bottom of the totem pole in society. And black, fat women that are loud are not supposed to be seen, let alone heard ever. And all I had to do was get sexy on y'all for y'all to hear me. And that's why you're really mad, Dwayne. I was on the plane with Dwayne.
Okay, all right, no more poems.
It's like it's coming off as just she has a lot of built up resentment for the things she's experienced through her life, from whether it's being black, whether it was for her weight or what. And she's now like letting all of that come out
in a very counterproductive way. Yeah. She's definitely not dealing with it.
She's not seeming to like think about the consequences that are going to follow, and hence the self-sabotage. What do you think this is going to result in if you're just literally going to call everyone that follows you a stupid idiot all the time?
Well, and what I will say too is that because I had followed Fannita for so long, since she, was plus size since the beginning, pretty much, I resent that. Like, I'm just like, dude, all I ever did was just sit back, like a few of your things, maybe comment on a few things like funny. I don't know what I've done, but it's always been positive and it's always been supportive. And for her to just be like, nobody wanted me here. Nobody. It's like, that statement is not true. Maybe that's how she feels, but it's not true. And she needs to know that that's not true. There are many people like myself who, even after the Tarte trip, even after many things, okay, I think I still follow her after the Bretman thing. Like, it just feels like she doesn't know truly how many people supported her. And it's working to her own detriment because she's not acknowledging those people. Therefore, those people feel now like, oh, okay, well then fuck you.
It's sad because it feels like it's all coming from like really deep rooted insecurities and like anger at how society has treated her, which I don't doubt has been awful. But she did grow a following because she was able to appeal to people regardless of what her weight was. And they liked her. And now she's just being like, ha, joke's on you. I was never like that.
Oh, yeah. No, it's even worse because this TikTok, she flat out says she fucking hates all of us.
I saw that, yeah.
By the way, this is in 2x on her own accord. Like, I didn't speed it up. It's just how she has it.
Y'all about to turn me into Malcolm X. I got something to say, and I'm gonna put it to rest. Ooh, wee, I got something to get off my chest. So, first things first, I want y'all to know something about the way that I'm talking to y'all and about how I'm speaking to y'all and my hostility and everything. Well, it's because I fucking hate y'all. What? You can't say that you hate us. I absolutely can. Because when I was a fat, dark-skinned, loud, confident black woman, that's all y'all ever said to me. Let's get something clear. The reason a lot of y'all don't like me isn't because I went to Tarte and I was hanging out with white girls. It isn't because I said people were ugly. And it isn't because I said that bastard had thin lips. It's because I'm an anomaly. There's
like,
no other bitch that has done the things that I've done with the odds stacked against them. It was Vegas, baby. And every single time I went all in on Fannita. When I was fat, it was fun to hate me. It was fun to get y'all jokes off. It was fun to degrade me. It was fun to treat me like I was subhuman. And I knew I could not let y'all know about my secret talent. Last week, I posted about 20 videos. Ranting, yapping. I want y'all to guess how many people from my close friends and family reached out to me about those videos. 1. Amber. Amber said, "Nita, you good?" But Amber hasn't known me as long as my friends and family. My own brother hasn't said shit to me about it because that's genuinely how I act. You can ask anyone in my life, my hairstylist, my nail tech, I talk like this on a regular basis. But let me tell y'all something about intersectionality. When you're fat, you cannot be mean, you fat bitch. You're fat already. Slow your roll. You can be fat and funny, and you can be fat and nice and look like you give such good cuddles. Oh my God, you look like you give great hugs. Oh my God, you look so cuddly, you fat little teddy bear, you. And I knew if I opened the floodgates and I started reading bitches when I was fat, oh my God, I would have been on a stake and I would have been an angry, fat black woman, no Medea. And I would lose out on job opportunities. Because at the end of the day, this social media shit I do for y'all is to get to the money, and I don't like y'all. Period. I like the people that support and like me.
What do you think this is accomplishing?
Dirty hoes in your fucking Section 8 housing apartments, sitting in your dirty, broken cars that need transmission replacements, talking about me. I hate you. And I always have, and I always will, and I've never forgotten about anybody that's talked about me. And y'all, if there's somebody I've forgotten about that's talked about me or made a video about me, any of these light-skinned, biracial, ugly bitches that you can't even tell is black, making 50 videos about me, tag them so I can make sure I have the lineup of all my enemies and I can start taking them out one by one. What I'm doing for y'all right now is teaching you a life fucking lesson. You don't get to bully no fucking body and then be mad when the rabbit got the gun. It ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun.
Oh my God, I hate the tongue.
Yeah, I know the tongue thing is
okay, no, this is such a disturbing, like, if she really thinks this, like, girl, you didn't get to where you are because everyone hated you.
No.
I get that you got a ton of hate, and I don't doubt that she did get significantly more than I could ever possibly imagine. But those aren't the people that got you to where you are now.
I'm not going to sit here and like tell her, get over it, because hate is really, like, it fucking affects you. I get it.
Yeah.
But what I will say is that as someone who followed her for so many years, like, I was in those comment sections. I saw the comments under her videos. She always had, like, her top comments were not really, really disgusting shit. Usually it was people laughing at the jokes, commenting on something she said. Like, she had a lot of love. Like, I just don't think she
you don't get followers that are like long term, at least, for being hated. And it wouldn't be like she was like a cringe watch or something that people were really tuning into to see. Like, no, people liked her.
She was well liked. I am sure that she got unwarranted hate.
Absolutely.
Because of her existence, because of her appearance, because of whatever it may be. She's justified in feeling jaded because of that. But this is such
a slap in the face.
Yeah, it's literally, what did I hate the saying, but it's like throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Like, literally, you are throwing everything away because you are fucking pissed at those shitty people that came for you, and you're throwing people like me. Why do I want to be told I'm a fucking idiot every day? Like, I'm out.
Like, she thinks that her content is so entertaining and revolutionary, which I want to remind everyone that this has been the majority of her content recently. So why the fuck would people continue to tune in aside from just like right now watching a train wreck happen? But like we talk all the time about that.
Yeah, like
Not
once you get told you're a tiny piece of shit on the floor and nobody cares about you and you're broken, annoying, and stupid, and she doesn't need you, it makes scrolling through her page a little less fun, I'll say. No matter what she puts out. Like she tried to, in the middle of all of this, put out one of her regular TikToks where she's talking about like broke men in the club. And I couldn't even watch the whole thing. I'm like, I don't fucking care, Fannita. Like, I don't want to hear it
because now everything you were watching through a new lens too, where it's like, well, you think everyone's broke, ma'am.
That's true. But anyway, I'm going to move along to just a few more points because then we have a deleted explanation and her apology. But really quickly before we get to that,
apology.
There has been this whole thing where basically there's this creator by the name of, what's his name? Carrington. Yeah, he's at Swaglord on TikTok.
That makes me
I know nothing of him, but he's a big TikToker I know. But they apparently went on a date, I guess. And, this was probably for show. She's done this before. She's actually done it with Leo where she's like pretended like they're like on each other and stuff like that. Leo's gay. So, she does that quite often.
Well, and so
but
apparently he had gone on her podcast and they had never met before. They didn't know each other. And like, she says that someone on her team like had been begging her to have him on for so long and she like didn't know who he was and then finally got him on.
Girls that works on my podcast was like, please, she has been begging me for months to let Carrington come on the podcast. And
really?
Yes. Like, since like last year. And I was like, I just don't know anything about him. Like, because I never seen your stuff. And then I was like, why does everybody think he's so cute? And I look at, he just looks like another white boy to me. And then I seen Carrington in real life. I said, oh, I get it, ladies.
And I guess they had good chemistry during the thing. But the whole thing is he's taking her on a sushi date. It doesn't seem like it was an actual, like, will you go on a date with me? It was like, no, let's film a collab for content and we go on a sushi date.
just know there's a lot of moments where this young fellow feels very uncomfortable.
The big thing that everyone is saying is if roles were reversed and Carrington was doing this to her, watch it through that lens because you would be like, what is happening? I will say the few times I have seen her do this kind of stuff, and she's always been like really sexual, and it's like, it seems like a joke, but like, I think
like, why are you so into the
her
joke?
Quote unquote glow up. Yeah. Now the joke is less of a joke, and she's like more like trying to actually do it.
Yeah, absolutely. She just basically goes in for the kiss to this guy. And his reaction, I feel like every girl can relate to this reaction. Have you not had a man do this to you? Like, go for a kiss, and then like now she's like, no, I'm actually going in for the kiss. And he's like, haha, this is so funny. But quite obviously, he's just like, what the fuck? Like, it does not seem like he's like actually having a great time. Maybe I'm reading too much into it.
No, you're not, because it starts at his house when they're getting ready, and she like helps him pick his outfit out. I watched the entire 20-minute video.
Yeah, actually, I have some clips from a lovely Reddit user who compiled the most uncomfortable moments in that YouTube video.
I am taking Fannita on a date to Sugar Bears. Woo!
She's like trying to grind on him. He's laughing, backing away.
Like a boss ass couple.
We look like the Little League fucking coach of the month.
Boss ass interracial couple.
Boss ass.
Hey, please.
Low key.
Please, come on.
Okay, should we do it?
Yeah.
Okay. What about wearing these pants still?
Stop flashing that dick.
I'm not flashing shit.
Jesus.
She numerous times she references his huge dick.
Like, I love a big dick dude with a heart. I love a big dick dude with a. Oh my God, your house is nice.
Yeah,
I got
shout
a
out
pool.
to Jake Weber.
Can we make out today?
We're making out all dinner.
Okay,
all
cool.
Dinner. Oh my God.
Y'all, he was wearing underwear. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Big dick shit. No, is my butt look good?
Like, he could not be more obvious that he's not interested.
It is the whole time. Like, and he just is playing along with it to not seem
like a dick,
like an asshole, I guess. But I'm like, you're not being an asshole.
No, not at all. So that's her MO, and that's always been. And honestly, I should have stopped following her because of that, because she doesn't do it all the time, but she does it enough that it's like, ew. Like, why do you do that? Why do you push yourself? Again, I hate the fucking if the roles were reversed argument, but if the roles were reversed, we would be like mortified.
Well, and I think the thing here is that he can't tell what's for the camera and what's not.
Right.
Like, it seems like he thought originally that's what she was doing, but then progressively through the video, he's kind of like, oh my God, is she really doing this? Like, I don't know what's going on. One last thing about that Carrington thing is that people were really upset also that they go to dinner and they're having sake, and and she like starts pressuring him to drink more, and he says he doesn't want to, and then like he has work, every excuse that he cannot, and she like basically like forces him to go to another bar to get another drink.
Oh my God.
So people are like, if the roles were reversed, this would be fucked, because she really pressures him in, and then she keeps joking about how she's gonna like stay the night.
Jeez, girl, get it together. Anyway, so let's jump to her deleted explanation. We've gone on for a long time about Fannita, so we'll try to keep it short. I don't know if we're gonna react to this whole thing. This is something she's since taken down, and in my opinion, she's taken it down because it's too real. It's too close to the real her. If you followed Fannita for a long time, you know her mom passed away. She doesn't like to talk about that. She doesn't like to talk about anything too real. Like, she'll talk about all this shit, but when it comes to her actual feelings, she can't do it. So I think that's why she took this down, because it genuinely seems like this is what she's going through. This is why she's been acting this way.
Here's my thing, y'all. I don't care about what people are saying about me. And I'm going to let y'all in on some of the things that have been going on the last month and a half of my life. And I mean, actually, not even the last month and a half, the last month. It's been a month that all these things have occurred. First, I want to start off by saying that my uncle literally died in April. The only father figure I had died in April, and my family has been struggling so bad. And I couldn't even grieve my uncle's passing when it was happening because everybody was mad at Raven and Miranda and mad at me about a podcast clip. Then after I had to go spend and then the thing is I'm busy, so I can only spend 3 days with my family before I have to come back to LA and work, because I work hard for my family so I can provide, because my family's not well off. You know, like nobody in my family's rich. I'm not rich, but I still take care of my family. I take care of all my nephews. I take care of my cousins. I take care of my aunt, and my aunt really like needs me right now. Then I had to go get a life-changing surgery. I had to go get a tummy tuck. I had to go get a boob job. Y'all, I just got back from Miami last week.
Did she say life-saving?
Life-changing.
Then I had to go get a life-changing surgery.
Oh, okay.
I had to go get a tummy tuck. I had to go get a boob job. Y'all, I just got back from Miami last week. I've only been home for a week and a half.
That's also something to note. So she got surgery on May 9th, and she has literally not been healing. Like, if you have a boob job just alone, you shouldn't be going out drinking. I think she should still be on pain fucking meds. I don't know.
She mentions the pain meds in this video and
okay.
says that she hadn't taken them since, I think she says like May 9th, but then she goes, no, never mind, it was May 15th. But then she tells us how many she has left, and that the whole reason she hasn't been taking them is because she doesn't want to get addicted to them. But then she goes on to say she hasn't even been taking Tylenol.
Oh, weird. Okay.
And I'm like, why?
And I'm still in recovery. I'm still swollen, and everybody's making think pieces about my body that is fresh. Like, literally, I'm fresh off the table. I've just started sleeping again. Like, last night was the first time I slept for 9 hours.
Red flag.
That is weird too, because I'm like, after surgery, that's usually you're just sleeping all the time.
Yeah, you should be relaxing. You should be sleeping. Lack of sleep is a huge red flag, mental health wise, obviously. So that is something that she should definitely talk to someone about or just look into, because if she's not sleeping, it makes sense why she was so agitated, angry, wanting to lash out on everyone.
Well, and especially when your body is trying to heal. But her explanation seems like she couldn't sleep at all because
maybe it was because of her grief or like
that would make more sense. She's tying it in more to the surgery though, and it
doesn't. Yeah,
I don't know.
Like, last night was the first time I slept for 9 hours in 3 weeks, and it's not because I wasn't sleeping because of pain meds or whatever. I haven't taken my pain meds since May.
They would make you sleep.
May 9th. No, I haven't taken my pain meds since May 15th, after I got back from Miami. I have not taken a single pain medication because I don't want to get addicted to opioids. I haven't taken Tylenol, and I haven't taken any of the codeine that I was prescribed. I still have 22 codeine pills left. Then I broke up with my boyfriend. I was in a toxic relationship for the last 3 months. A toxic relationship. I was it took everything I had to break up with my boyfriend. And I broke up with him, and I stood 10 toes down. And then ever since I broke up with him, that mental lift, finally something has been lifted mentally where I can focus back on my work, because he was deterring me from like my job, and he had to go. Like it just wasn't gonna work. Like he wasn't secure enough in himself to date somebody of my stature and my status. And so then I broke up with my boyfriend, right? I'm still healing from recovery. My uncle is dead. My body's not the same anymore. And you guys want me to give a fuck about hate comments? You guys want me to give a fuck about being mean? I am kind to people that I like. You are not entitled to my kindness. My nephew never gets to see me. But when he hears that I'm in town, he'll literally wait outside on the street to greet me. He'll jump into my arms, and he's 9 years old. I send my niece skincare. I send my niece and nephew money every month for their allowance. I buy my other nephew stuff. I do stuff for my friends' kids. Like, I take care of people. That's why I have to be mentally tough in this job and ignore y'all. For my own sanity. Y'all think I'm having a manic episode.
You're not ignoring them.
If I was having a manic episode, that shit would have started in April when my uncle died. But it didn't, because I know what I have to do. I know that I can't be the one to crumble.
She's talking about being manic as if it's a choice or something that you can choose not to do.
Oh, a lot of
and that's not how
people that are manic think that. They think, oh, well, like, honestly, this is my superpower. Let me harness it really quick. Let me do this. And that's not how it works. And it also is not a light switch. I mean, it is and it's not. Like, it's a light switch in the sense that the way it comes on does feel sudden, especially to the people around you. But, like, it's not something you can turn on and off necessarily. Like, you can't just be like, I need some sleep. Let me not be manic.
Yeah. And like literally she's framing it like, I have too much that I have going on right now. It's just not a good time for me to be manic. And it's like, that's
usually what happens.
How it works. I don't know if it's that she doesn't understand what that means. If she's more using it as just like a term for like not mentally doing that well.
Yeah.
But manic is a very specific thing that people experience because of certain disorders. So this explanation is just kind of weird to me because you can't just will yourself into not experiencing it. The main sentiment I got from even, I think it was the re-upload and comments, is that she has gone through a lot. No one's going to deny that. That is a lot to deal with in a very short time. And then when you add in the fact that she clearly did hold so much resentment about her weight, and like now that she's dealing with changing in front of everyone and hearing everyone's commentary on it, it's all a lot for one person to handle. And it seems like it's too much for her, and she isn't recognizing that. And she's just like, no, but I have to make more money. And then she's talking about how she helps her family a lot. But even the way she frames that doesn't necessarily seem like it's that she's helping them because they're like needing her to. It's that she like wants to be able to kind of.
No, I totally get that because I'm very, very similar. Like I have that frame of mind. If I have it, my family has it. Like I am just, that's how I operate. So I understand why she's saying that. And she's also a Leo. It's a big trait of ours. Like we put shit on our shoulders and nobody necessarily placed it there for us. Like we are taking on that responsibility because we feel like that's our call in life or whatever. And it can be a fucking lot. And again, she does not have her mom. She does not have her dad. And now her uncle, who was a father figure, passed away.
Yeah. So now that if she's feeling then more alone than ever, and then also has the pressure of feeling like she has to be this person for them, the family she has left. And it's just, there's a lot of things that are a lot for one person to handle. And I think that people are right in the comments saying she should take a break, because even her saying she doesn't have time or the energy to basically focus on people leaving hate comments. But it's like, girl, that's all you've been doing.
Right. But again, she deleted that. And this is the apology that she left up. It's still up right now that we're filming this. I don't know if it'll stay up, but it's an interesting one, I'll say.
Hi. I don't really like being vulnerable and telling y'all my business, but for the sake of everything, I'm here to talk. I'm not here to give an apology to my haters, though. Y'all gonna have to keep waiting. But what I will do is apologize to my poor bitches that fuck with me.
Why are they poor?
Everyone was like, that is the most out-of-pocket fucking start to an apology.
Honestly, first of all, Fannita, probably not the best strategy to get more brand deals by saying all of your followers are poor and they can't spend money.
Oh my God, that's
because I don't think brands are really gonna invest in that.
Hey, y'all, listen, I grew up poor. There are many days where I didn't have anything to eat but tears. There are many days where I slept on the ground, slept on the floor, didn't have a blanket, didn't have a comforter. You know what I mean? My friends had to buy my school lunch. I would eat food out the trash like a raccoon, like a rabbit, like an animal, you know, just so I could eat food in general. I never had nice clothes. I was never allowed to buy nice clothes. When I played basketball, I had to wear like my older teammates' hand-me-downs. So I don't want y'all to think I'm an elitist bastard, because I'm not.
Imagine you at that time in your life, if TikTok was a thing, you were following someone that you liked, you supported, and then she started speaking how you spoke to your following. Imagine how that would have felt being the person that needed the secondhand uniforms, being the person that didn't have food. You see someone that you support saying all of you, not singling out her haters, not singling out anyone, saying everybody watching this fucking video right now, you're poor, you're pathetic, and I hate you. That's the issue that people have. It's not that you feel strongly against the people who are being nasty towards you. It's that you took everyone down in the process and it was a mistake, and you need to just say that.
I'm not, guys. I'm not this evil, wicked, sinister bully that everybody wants me to be.
You're not. What you just told everyone, that you are this mean, horrible
And that you
person that you
couldn't
always
wait to
have
be
been.
this person.
You know, one of my life goals is to become a billionaire so I can build an apartment complex to house the unhoused. That's my goal. There's several organizations that my card is on file at, and I donate money to less fortunate. Literally, I was out to eat with my friend Anika at Hamburger Heaven or something that was called. It was called like Heavenly Hamburger or something. And this woman came up to me. She was homeless. She was like, so like, how do you order a cheeseburger? And I was like, girl, cut the bullshit. Do you want a burger and a beer? And she was like, yeah, I do. And I bought her a burger and beer and fries. Everybody at that place, she was asking everybody to buy her some food. And everybody told her no. And that was confusing to me because I'm like, she just wants a burger and a beer. She just because she's homeless, she can't have a beer. Like, goddamn, who wants to eat a burger and not have a beer to go with it? That's not a crime. But I want y'all to know that I love my supporters. And this week, I let my anger get the best of me, y'all. Like, I've been angry for like 4 years, man. Rightfully so. I don't feel bad about being angry. I feel bad about reacting the way that y'all have always wanted me to react.
You all.
I
No
react
one
in a
wants
way
that.
that people have been praying for me to react. They don't want to see me happy-go-lucky and having fun.
Yes, they do.
I always enjoyed that. I always, like, I'm just
so
me.
confused. Why is she assuming that everyone's like hate watching her, just waiting for her downfall?
I'm telling you,
Like,
I think it's so many things. There's so many layers. This is like the ultimate
there's a lot of
onion.
contributing factors to
Yeah.
it, yeah.
Like, it's not one thing. People are trying to single it out to one thing, but it's really an accumulation of a billion things. It's just so shitty to hear her say that.
and then trying to justify, like, to basically kind of excuse any of the behavior by being like, why are you focusing on that? I bought a burger for a homeless lady. And it's like,
That was honestly so weird. I'm like, okay. Like, it just like was such a long explanation. I'm like, I think we've all bought an unhoused person a meal, you know? Anyway, we could go on and on about her apology, but it was basically that. There's a little bit more to it. We'll skip forward. The last thing I'm going to cover with Fannita, and then we will be done, I swear, is then after all of this happened, after the apology, after the deleted explanation, after everything, she jumps to her Instagram story, and I shit you not, starts telling her followers and her friends that they need to send her money and they need to donate to her because she is going to quit TikTok. She says she quit TikTok. I mean, that was like 2 days ago, girly. Like, did your check, like, it hasn't even come in yet. I think it comes in the first of the month. So she says that she quit TikTok and she's going to start Twitch. I'll let Lily drop in some clips of her Twitch because it's literally like the audio is from her headphones, like a gaming headphone. And she's like reacting to like a few videos. And I think the one that I saw was like 5 viewers.
What? Huh? Bring back fathers in the home. What? What? Oh, do my ears deceive me?
I get it. It's a different platform and you're like switching over, whatever. But the point is she says people owe her money because she's starting on Twitch and she's doing that for free because Twitch hasn't, like, she's not a partner with them yet. And so people need to pay her money. And I shit you not, she texted all these famous influencers, Monet, Michael, the one I mentioned. One of the people that donated to her $500 is Jonathan Monroe, who were actually mutuals on Instagram. He's super sweet. He's from, what MTV show was it? Are You the One? He sent her $500. She literally was telling people like, you need to donate to me. And one influencer said, okay, when I get paid on the 1st. And she screenshotted that, put it on her Instagram story and was like, oh, like your faves are broke as fuck. They can't even donate to me on
Says the
time.
person
Like
begging for
literally,
money?
it makes zero sense. But this is her response to people being like, oh, so you were just saying how rich you are and now you're begging us for money.
I feel like a lot of y'all argue when some man takes in my DMs. Y'all are like, Fannita, but you called us broke. Now you won't hear it begging us to cash app you. Yes. Yes, why are we arguing semantics? I'm absolutely
What do you mean
begging.
arguing semantics?
I'm absolutely begging for change. Yes, I am. Because I can't work for free on Twitch. Sorry. That takes a lot. I need you bitches to fucking pay me some money. Also, this is just a life lesson that anything can happen. Even the people that are on top that rule the world can walk among civilians.
But it was you 2 days
again.
ago.
And I'm walking among civilians again. I quit TikToking to Twitch
Why?
stream. So I'm sorry, but you hoes gonna have to pay me. Right? If I'm gonna be talking and entertaining y'all for hours on end, y'all gonna have to throw some money and make my ass shaped like a goddamn stripper at Tussies. And I'm not playing. So it's cash out Fannita Leggett and stop fucking playing with me and stop asking me questions. Yes, I'm begging, and yes, I'm begging for money after I called y'all broke. Now what about it? Send me some money or shut the fuck up.
See, like, she thinks she's being funny, but I'm looking for the joke. But her actual Cash App is there. So, like, what's the joke? This isn't you pretending you're begging. You are begging for money. Now you want the money from the quote-unquote broke bitches who can't afford shit, not even a fucking transmission on their car. They're sitting on the floor, dirty in their Section 8 houses, but they need to send you money. And I shit you not. I thought, oh, okay, she's being, this is satirical, whatever. Until she started showing her text message log that she was messaging all these famous TikTokers her Cash App and literally demanding that they donate to her.
Out of everything we've watched, that is the most like, what are you doing?
Right?
Like,
I know.
And just, it does actually full circle back to, she thinks that she is a gift to everyone and she's entertaining you, you have to pay her. First of all, I'm so confused at the platform switch. First of all, you don't do live streaming, do you? What's with the pivot all of a sudden before, like, why wouldn't you kind of overlap them maybe? So you're like still making some money off. Like,
I mean,
there's
and it's
no
not
logic
her
here.
followers' problem that she is deciding to do something different on the internet. If we decide to move platforms, we're not going to tell people, well, we have bills and stuff to pay in the transition point. Can you send us money? It's like, no.
We had that transition period.
That's actually such a good point because when we started this channel, that was our transition period. Like, we went from our main channels and our main socials and making money however the fuck we made it at the time to making nothing. I mean, not nothing, but I would say for the first year, pretty close to nothing, split. So basically nothing. How much money of our own money did we invest in just trying to do fun things and trying to just like, I don't know, just invest in the channel? All the shit that we use, all the equipment. I didn't have this microphone. I never asked anyone for a fucking dime because if I believe in something, that's my responsibility to fund that. Nobody else.
And not to mention, like, when I brought up, however, like a couple months ago, that like I was at a point that I literally didn't have money to buy food. I mean, this is a luxury, but I didn't have money to buy my Trulies. And I'd be like, Jesse, can I borrow $7 to go to? Literally. And people in the comments were like, oh my God, Lily, I didn't realize that it was that bad. You should have told us. I'm like, not your problem.
But you know what it actually comes down to? It's that what we're doing here and what we continue to do is something that we not only have fun doing, but it's something we believed in, like from the get-go. It's why we put so much work into it. That's why we continue to do it. Like, what I'm gathering is, yes, Fannita's going through a lot, but it does seem like one of the main things as well is like, I don't think she got into this for the right reasons.
No.
Like, I don't think she likes being a content creator. I don't think this is something she should be doing. And I mean that with peace and love. I'm not telling her what to do. I'm just like, girl, if you don't like it, let it go.
Or if you
like,
also,
you don't need all this shit.
You need to not operate under the assumption that you deserve everything.
And that you're blessing your followers. Like, how many times do people leave the sweetest comments about us and we're like, you mean that? Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
But oh my, are you sure?
And it's not like a show. It's literally just, I mean, when we're sitting here, we're talking to a camera. It's just me and Lily. It's hard to fathom what this all means. And so we're not trying to be like, oh, we're just humble little queens. It genuinely is hard for a brain to grasp.
100%.
And I think that in more ways than one, Fannita she doesn't understand what it means to be an influencer.
Humble.
She doesn't, or humble. Yeah, she really can't do it. And she can't even fake it.
Well, I mean, maybe she did for a little bit, but then she switched.
No. And like I said, even when she was quote unquote faking it, she still had quite the ego and was talking about how amazing she was. So she never really quite faked being this like humble queen, because there are some people on the internet that if they were to turn and do this, I would be shook. I'm not entirely shook that Fannita's doing this. You know what I mean?
No. It's kind of like just like a heightened version of what you saw before.
Yes. But listen, we've gone on for long enough. That's the basic, understanding of what's going on with Fannita right now. All in all, I wish her well. She's been through a lot. Personally, I don't take any offense to it. I just removed myself from it. Like, I finally don't follow her anymore, and I just don't really want to be a part of it. That's really it.
I don't know who she thinks that kind of content and that kind of like personality is going going to keep around.
Right.
Like, that's not as sustainable. That's not why people are going to follow you. And you don't just get to have them follow you once and then you're set for life.
Yeah.
So I think for her own sake, I hope she has some kind of realization that this is not working and she needs to realize why she's doing this and if she can keep doing this, because otherwise I'm just nervous for what is going to continue to unfold.
I know. Yeah, same. So we got to move on because we have been filming for like 2.5 hours.
You guys, guess what? Guess who's back?
Honestly, I don't know if I'm excited about this because I was pretty done with her the last time we spoke of the tunnel lady.
Yeah, so if you're not familiar, the tunnel lady is the woman that was building a mine, a tunnel system, if you will, underneath her suburban home.
Just started
If that
digging.
sounds concerning to you, it's because it is. There's this lady that under her residential suburban home,
She has an underground tunnel.
It's just been over a year since I started building my underground tunnel system.
you allowed to do this?
How's anybody gonna know?
TikTok.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, she's doing it very legitly. So I'm like, good for you, girlie.
I don't really doubt her skills to do it. I just question the legalities about it, I guess.
And also, why?
That's another question that came to mind, but live your dreams. She's not a real engineer. She's a software engineer who read some FEMA books and takes advice from people in the comments. And anyway, she got shut down. She doesn't even have a full acre of property. She's absolutely going to fuck her neighbors over. I saw this and started Googling. Y'all saw this and said, go girl boss, build that single.
I do think we were very much on, Slay Queen territory with our video, in our opinion.
We were like Slay Queen with some reservations that were like, is this allowed? Is this gonna cause a sinkhole?
Does this fuck up like the structure? If you remove one beam from your home, that is a load-bearing beam, your whole entire house could fall. Like, that is how serious all this shit is. So I wonder how, going underground, I don't know. Do you have a permit for this?
Despite what her TikTok username suggests, Kayla does not have a formal background in engineering. She said she's studied business and finance in school and has spent most of her professional life working in information technology, but her passions lie in civil and mechanical engineering.
We just want you to see what we think, because I feel like we were just really unclear on how unhinged this lady is, and I'm pretty sure we're both terrified of her now.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say unsettled. We were after seeing it.
Well, yeah, we went from being Slay Queen, build that mine, to please don't come near me. You scare me.
Okay, well, so multiple aspects to it. First of all, it's a short film. This shot.
Good morning, how you doing?
Good morning.
I don't know if you remember me, I'm Jack Smith.
Yes.
I'm a Bayport, building official. This is Jimmy Jones with the zoning department, and Brian with inspections.
What can I do for you?
We have some complaints, basically there's some construction going on.
Construction.
We were just here, basically, to find out there is and see what needs to be done.
What kind of construction?
Ma'am, are you kidding?
I don't know, Kayla, you tell us. You're the one building a mine under your house.
Then you're pulling stuff out of the basement.
Yeah, a little bit.
This is when she scares me, because now you're just a liar. And her vibe is very ominous.
Am I gonna get in trouble if I say that, I feel like she's going to have them come in, and then if she thought she could get away with just, them never leaving, she would.
Not the accusations.
Spoiler alert. She, got found out because it's not like she had been posting to millions of people on TikTok. But she didn't have permits for this tunnel system, which, as you might imagine, that is not something the city takes kindly to. So they shut her down, and she has submitted, revised. I mean, I don't think they're revised. I think they're just the original plans that she didn't have before. But she submitted them in December or January, I think. Oh, no, I think she got shut down in December. 3 months ago, she submitted these plans that she seemed to be very confident we're just gonna get approved and she was gonna continue. Well, they didn't. And, she has gotten back some notes that apparently make sense to her and that they were valid corrections, and then others that don't make sense. So she's gonna talk to them more and figure it out. You might also remember, I don't know how closely you guys followed her, and I don't think we ever featured this, but the rock that she was mining in these tunnels, obviously it has to go somewhere. So she was pulling it out of her house, and apparently her goal, I'll let her tell you, but
oh, Jesus.
She was not only just building the tunnel, she was mining for stones that she could use to build things. Get ready.
Oh, God. I'm scared.
One of the reasons for extending my tunnel system is to harvest a layer of building stone. So far, I only found one good layer, about a foot thick, sandwiched between siltstone and quartzite. It is fractured in ready-made rectangular prisms. All the other rock I am paying $575 per load to have removed as it is total junk. This rock I will keep.
There's a caption on screen that says, "You are coming home with me."
$575 per load of these fucking pointless rocks?
It is a very large dumpster, I will say. But she's also building very deep tunnels, so I assume it was pretty expensive, which I still question where all of the money came from to fund this entire venture.
In the Middle Ages, huge amounts of rock were quarried out from underground near Paris. There were a few layers of proper building stone, but it was too deep to dig a pit. The stone was used to build walls and buildings for the growing city. Eventually, the tunnels formed a vast network underground, and part of it is well known as the catacombs.
I was like, no, she's not building her own Paris catacombs.
I've actually been in the Paris catacombs. They're very, very scary.
You went?
Yeah.
That seems like something you would not be down for.
It was for a movie premiere, the As Above, So Below movie.
So it was like a
flew us
very
out.
controlled, like...
Yeah, it was like the nice part of the catacombs.
Yeah.
I will use some of this for landscaping. I really like stone and plan one day to build a castle.
A
Okay,
castle!
Queen.
So that was just, she dropped that in. I think that was the first mention. Then she periodically would mention it afterwards.
I love castles, especially medieval ones, but also Victorian Gothic Revival country homes.
Very
One
specific.
day I was going to construct one with stone walls, battlements, catacombs, alligator-filled moat, and a rusty drawbridge. I don't really have enough space in my small suburban plot, but that does not mean I can't build with stone.
If I'm correct, I think she was just like, well, I don't have room for a moat with an alligator, but I am gonna do the stone.
Dude, why does she live in a suburban town? Literally, why? Like, go live on land and do whatever the fuck you want. And if your house implodes, it's your house. Who cares? I just don't
know.
understand. What is her need to, like, be a menace of a neighbor?
Like, maybe she really likes Trader Joe's or something.
I guess.
This foundation wall will eventually support a real stone wall built with the stone that I'm quarrying out from my secret tunnel system.
Secret tunnel system.
I
Not so
hate
secret.
veneer rock walls. In fact, I abhor veneer anything. It is inauthentic, temporary, tacky, poor, nasty,
Fannita?
brutish, and short.
I didn't hear that
and
part. That
short.
was so aggressive.
If you are a so-called stonemason who glues thin stone slices onto a substrate, you are not a stonemason.
Oh my God.
You are a Walmart version of a mosaic artist. At the same time, building a solid stone wall is going to be a challenge to perform calculations and make it compliant.
I didn't know she was really shitting on stonemasons that make veneered. That took a turn. But yeah, so you can see she's very passionate about castles. So then, as she's waiting for her plans to get approved, she posts this.
I've been enjoying some free time since my suburban mining project has been put on hold, but there's a problem. I have a castle to build. Unfortunately, I have a very small stockpile of building stones. Most of the excavated rock
That's the
is too
dumpster.
soft to be of use and needed to be disposed. Some smaller pieces were stacked against the basement wall as a cute veneer, but it's kind of a joke. I need more! I was just starting to get discouraged when I took a break. I was picking up a friend at the airport, and on the way back, I noticed a construction site with an outcropping of rocks. I'm going to go back and ask the builders if I can take some.
Hello.
How you doing?
Who can I talk to see if I can take some of these rocks?
Have whatever you want.
All right.
I have to wonder if that was another actor or if that was the actual.
I literally was gonna say, I was like, you know, she just paid someone to voice over this.
Oh my God, she does
She
love
just
her
stole the
short
rock.
films. She is a filmmaker.
Oh my God.
That worked out great. Look at all these rocks.
They're huge.
They're everywhere.
Well, that's the problem.
I'm gonna take some.
Oh my God, her truck is gonna
Castle
get
is back
fucked
on
up.
track.
What the hell?
And we've got a new project afoot.
Oh my God. She is so interesting to me.
She fascinates me. So next we have her going back for the rocks that she now has permission to take.
Allegedly.
I was given permission to take rocks from this site, so
Were
I
you,
will
ma'am?
take all of them. Although scooping
did
up
she
the smaller pieces is like crumb cake, most of the rocks are
cake.
boulders, and if I really want to scale up this operation, I need to figure out how to break them. I bought this sledge, and am going to try shaping it as a wedge. I will buy a better tool tomorrow, but this is all I could get on short notice.
We'll buy a better tool tomorrow. This is all you can get on short notice. You couldn't just wait a day?
No, Lily, she needs to build her castle. Have some fucking respect.
Literally, like, making medieval, like...
She needs to do it now.
I don't have access to electrical, and I want to keep a light footprint on their site, so I am sort of out of my comfort zone. This is a lot of work without much payoff. I tried using this janky chisel to score the rock, but that
Maybe you could have
is
just
also not
waited a
very
day.
effective at all. Yeah, this is not working. My aim is sloppy as all get out, but I definitely need better equipment. Certainly a better quarry splitter hammer, and probably jackhammers and stuff.
Oh, my arms
I'm able to
hurt
break
just-
some of the smaller pieces, but they're not very clean.
Looks like rubble to me.
What? I gotta tell-
I'm able to break some of the smaller pieces, but they're not very clean.
Looks like rubble to me.
What the fuck is that? Looks like
rubble to me.
These rocks will be perfect for building a castle. First, I need to figure out how to break them. I've been having some trouble splitting rocks without my usual arsenal of power tools, and I give up. I bought a generator and will be using jackhammers.
She has
as
so
well.
much
A professional 16-pound
money.
Disposable income.
Yeah.
rock is a perfect place to practice. I'm trying to use a small jackhammer with my best premium monkey bar bit.
All I can do is picture that, like, if there really were construction workers here that gave her permission, now they're like,
why the fuck did we do that?
what is she doing?
It's day 5 and they're like, I thought you would not be back.
Well, they're probably like, well, I didn't think she could move the big one.
Monkey bar bit. And this is taking a lot of time.
This rock's so hard.
Wait, what?
Did you hear that one?
What did she say?
Why is this rock so hard?
Her witch voice is something else.
Taking a lot of time.
This rock's so hard.
After 20 minutes of trying to chomp this big rock, I'm trying a smaller one.
God, I'd rather
And
die
the
than do
quarry
this. I just have to be
splitter
honest.
is unfortunate because it takes 2 people. And my precious monkey bar is melting like a candlestick. As you already guessed, the next step is to use drills and wedges. I was hoping to
It's just
reserve
what I
that
guessed.
for the really large rocks, but it looks like we need to get going on it.
Who's filming for her?
I literally just thought the same thing.
Not her saying that it's a 2-person thing, but then having a second person.
No, I don't think she does. Okay, so what it seems like to me is that she was on a tripod and someone either passed by or it was one of the builders, because that film work was a one shot and super sloppy. Listen, I admire her dedication.
Oh,
I
same.
will,
Did the
however,
first time,
not
too.
forget. Let's not forget that she is a menace in her neighborhood. She has people allegedly that are in her neighborhood that are Hispanics, that are undocumented, that are scared to come forward to the town because they're scared that they're going to be deported.
Correct.
And there's been a lot of investigative, work on this particular woman and what a menace she is to her
Well,
town.
also, and not to mention that, like, she's digging, she claims it's only under her house, but she's not, like, really considering that that is going to have an effect, like a ripple effect on the rest of the land around it. And these people are concerned and that they can't speak up. And then she's kind of like, well, too bad.
So I'll always remember that, and it makes me feel a little bit better about chuckling at this. Although, honestly, I feel like she wouldn't mind that we're chuckling at this.
I think she does a lot of this. Like, there's that, like, the voices. I think those are supposed to be funny.
I get her energy in the sense that, for instance, I bought this little, like, table for my kids, and it has, like, it looks like a mini dining table, but for kids. And so I bought it, and I got home after a long day of, like, being in the sun and the pool, and like how the sun just makes you so fucking tired. But I got home and I saw that box, and I was like, I need to build that now. So I'm also the type of person that, like, even when it's inconvenient, I'm like, that gets built right fucking now. Like, I can't deal with it. So I do understand her dedication, but it's still a bit much.
Because I am 100%, I have no patience. I think supposedly
none.
from what I've read, it's the ADHD. But I'm like, oh, that's going to give me dopamine? I must do it now. I'll drive an extra hour to go get something, or I'll, like, pay more to get it delivered faster. But given these circumstances,
this takes a lot of dedication that I do not have.
It was like she just then wasted a day because it was unsuccessful, and she just put all that energy into something, and she could have just waited.
I know. Yeah, and I always say, like, I'm a quitter. Like, I don't mind quitting. It doesn't bother me very much. If it's something that's not very fun and I don't have to do it, I'm like, never mind. So she's a little bit more dedicated than my brain can comprehend. But that being said, she's still the neighborhood menace, and this does not surprise me. I don't think there's much she could do that would surprise me at this point. Well, anyway, Anyway, guys, we have been filming, believe it or not, for about almost 3 hours.
Yeah, I was going to say, we don't even have time for Wheel of the Internet.
Yeah, I think we skip it this episode and we'll be back next week or next episode, whatever it is. I'm tired. I don't know. With our We Love the Internets. But anyway, yeah, if you guys made it to the end of this one, bless you, because this was a long one and it took some twists and turns. Like, I feel like the Fannita thing was so intense. And then there was this. It's like,
and
period.
I'll find the updates for the other, for last week's episode, and I'll touch on that next week.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But anyway, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, I hope you guys have a great weekend and we will see you on Monday. Bye.
Yes.